Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Caroline Ouko. Irvo Otieno is my son. Irvo was 4 years old when we came to the United States. Irvo went to kindergarten here in the United States, proceeded to Tuckahoe Elementary School and Freeman High School, and then went on to college in California. Irvo is as American as apple pie. This is what he knows. This is home for him. And when you're home, you are in a community. We live in a community. We have friends. This young man you see here had a big heart. Irvo was the guy that his classmates drew to. When they needed someone to talk to, he was the listener. He would take time to listen to them. And then he would take time to process and then lean back in. My son was a leader. He was not a follower. He also brought a different perspective to the table. If there was a discussion, he was not afraid to go the other way when everybody else is following. This was my baby. He cared for people. He cared that people were treated right. That was at the core of his upbringing in our home. He cared that people were treated equally. He would go to school when he was in middle school and invite that child who is eating alone over that table and say, man, come on, join in, let's eat together. He was kind. Even though Irvo was going through mental illness, what I saw today was heartbreaking America. It was disturbing. It was traumatic. My son was tortured, to put it right. I saw the torture. There is no way that Henrico County sheriff deputies were on him. 7 people, 7 officers on one man. And all this started when my son went to hospital on the 3rd. And that evening he was taken to jail, whisked from the back of the jail into the hospital. Those 3 days at Henrico County Jail were a horror. I've seen it on video. And I think more. But I'm here to mourn. And I'm mourning the life of this young man, my son. Mental illness should not be your ticket to death.
Right. Amen.
There was a chance to rescue him. There was a chance to stop what was going on. And I don't understand how all systems failed him.
All systems.
I don't understand why one single system could not hold up. My son was treated like a dog, worse than a dog. I saw it with my own eyes on the video.
Horrible.
He was treated inhumanely, and it was traumatic, and it was systematic. Because when you look in the first video, you see where they're on top of him, like my lawyer described. And then into Central States, it got even worse. It started and it went on and it went on until he took his last breath. He was murdered. They smothered the breath out of my baby. They murdered my baby. And those are my questions. Why did they do that?
Why?
What right do they have to do that? Illness is a problem everywhere. Right here, a problem. And getting worse.
Right.
With young children in school, young people needing help here and there. Talking to parents and mothers who come and they're giving me their own stories of what's going on in their homes. we could bring to churches so that when someone calls for help, respond looking for who can help them, who are know how to handle someone when they are in distress, so that we don't have to end up in this situation anymore. If my son was not lucky to survive this, I do not wish this on anyone else. I do not wish this on anyone's child or any parent or anyone else. We can do better.
We can do better.
That's well said.
For now, I'm asking for justice.
Justice.
Justice for my son.
Justice for Irvo.
Justice for Irvo.
Justice for Irvo. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for answers. Why was my son murdered? What was the reason? What was the reason?
No reason. Thank you.
So I need justice for my son. And one last thing I would like to say. My son was an aspiring hip-hop artist. He had found that feeling when you find your thing. He was doing. He would do his music. He would go in his room and shut the door. And he had it. He was creative and bright. I had to tell him the creative juices, just come flowing. He would write a song in less than 10 minutes. And so he put his energy with it. He was working towards his own record label. His music is streaming out there on Apple and all those streaming services. And Vo, look him up. YOUNG-VO, Young Vo. Take a minute to his music. He calls it like it is, but there is goodness in his music. And that's all I'm left with now. He's gone. All I'm left with is his voice. I'll not be at his wedding. I'll never see a grandchild out of it. Because someone to help him. No one stood up to stop him.
Thank you.
We
Karen.
have to do better.
Have to do better. Your baby.